What's up everybody, welcome back to another Pokemon VGC video. Today we're going to be doing some ranked battling with Manaphy. Probably, quite possibly, the cutest mythical Pokemon. I don't know, it's either her or Mew. I kind of got to lean towards Mew because she's the OG. But anyway, there she is, Manaphy. This one's actually shiny. I'm borrowing it from a friend. And I've built a team around her. I think it's a her. So it's a rain team, and let's get straight into the matchmaking process and see what we can do with this interesting composition. Alright, here we go. As you can probably see by the participating battle team preview, this is in fact a rain team. And I'm trying not to be too obvious with it. I think we got 3 water Pokemon here, all of which do well in the rain. We also have the Archaludon who, you know, gets that one turn electro shot, kind of obvious there. I'm seeing a Raichu on the opponent's team, so maybe we don't want to choose Archaludon because he has that ability. I think it's called Lightning Rod. He can just absorb all the electricity on the field. We've also got that Lugia, who's a Tera Water. And then we got Bronzong, who does surprisingly well in the rain. It's there mainly as a Trick Room counter, which we might end up needing here against Red. Come on, you can't take that name. Red with his Lunala and his Raichu, his Incineroar, his Zamazenta, Ursaluna, and Amoonguss. So it's definitely a Trick Room comp. And unfortunately, Lunala is so tanky, you really can't take her out of the picture right away. And my team is middling, so actually, Trick Room is my weakness. Does it make sense for me to bring Bronzong, though? That is the question. We're running out of time to decide. Bronzong can reverse the Trick Room and give me speed priority. He doesn't bring a lot else to the table, though I like the idea of bringing him with the safety goggles, because that's a nice counter to Amoonguss. So we'll keep Pelipper in the back, and then maybe we bring in this very interesting Blastoise build I came up with all by myself. Okay, you know, I don't fish Smogon and grab all the latest trendy builds. This one is totally me, and I gotta say, it's a pleasure to innovate on Blastoise because he's kind of an underdog, and every time I use Blastoise, it takes me back to like 1995 when I first started playing Pokemon Blue, and I was like 5 or 6 years old. Pretty incredible memories there, back on the Game Boy when there was no such thing as colored. Anyways, let's move on back to 2025. Here we are, and we're up against Raichu and Lunala. So Raichu's a little bit scary for my Manaphy. We might have to Tera Grass here. He might just start with a nasty plot. I'm not really sure what the plan is here. So to be safe, I think I'm going to Tera Grass here, even though I don't want to. I just can't risk getting destroyed in one turn by that Raichu. Now, Raichu's not as fast as Pikachu. Very few people are. Hold on, we gotta pick a move here. Shall we Gyro Ball? Let's body press the Raichu. Okay, you know, I'm not crazy about the Bronzong. I only brought him because if this Lunala gets off Trick Room, it's going to be a really big problem for me, and I don't want to deal with it. So let's just wait and see what Lunala does. And, you know, it might take a lot of damage from... Bronzong might take a lot of damage from Lunala. Excuse me. I'm mixing my words. Probably because I just got paralyzed by the Nuzzle, so this is like a support spec. Ugh, that dealt a lot of damage. What is this Bronzong holding? He's got the safety glasses, so I'm used to him using safety goggles, rather. I'm used to him having Focus Sash. I think this player is kind of just trying to bait me with the Trick Room a little bit. You know, Trick Room's not going to help Raichu that much here. Maybe we just go for the KO on Raichu and get Bronzong out of there. We bring him back in case we need him for reversing the Trick Room, and in the meantime we can bring in Pelipper or Blastoise. Who should we choose? I've got a trick up my sleeve with this Blastoise, so let's bring him in. This is an attack ground Blastoise. I already used my Tera, so we're not going to be Tera Ground and then making ourselves immune to that electricity on the opposing team, but at least the Manaphy is able to absorb some of that shock and not get killed on the first couple of turns by Raichu. Excuse me, KO. I'm still working on saying KO. Alright, we got Incineroar on the field. if Manaphy isn't fully paralyzed this turn, it's probably going to KO that Incineroar because it did queue up Scald, and it does have 3 stages of attack boost. Special attack boost, and that Assault Vest Blastoise just ate that Moongeist Beam very nicely, and that's a big win right there. We took out the Incineroar in 1 turn. I think my opponent is seriously underestimating how much of a threat Manaphy is once it gets off 1 Tail Glow. Tail Glow is even better than Nasty Plot, so it is amazing. It's pretty much what makes Manaphy viable. Not the most viable Pokemon that you could choose for a restricted slot, don't get me wrong, but definitely a threat after that Tail Glow goes off. Okay, so I think he's going to target down the Manaphy. That's what I would do. So I'm just going to go ahead and... Can I Fake Out here? I could. Does it make sense to? I'll probably get nuzzled otherwise. Yeah, let's Fake Out. Oh, he faked out me, who I was going to fake out. All right, well, I'm glad I didn't protect there. What's the Moongeist Beam going to do? It's not enough to KO either one of these Pokemon I have on the field. He's going to continue to target down Blastoise. I'm not really sure why he's doing that. Surprisingly, the Raichu survived. Oh, with the burn! Very nice. That's a 30% chance right there. We got that burn, and it actually secured the KO on Raichu. So this Manaphy showcase is going quite well. She's not getting paralyzed. Well, she is paralyzed, but she's not fully paralyzed. And she's racked up 2 KOs already. Now, what's next? We have Zamazenta. Oh, Zamazenta. Your defense is not going to help you very much against my Manaphy. But could it damage my Manaphy in a very significant way? I don't know. Probably not. Manaphy's pretty tanky, so maybe I just continue focusing down Zamazenta, and then... Well, you know what? This Blastoise is not doing a lot for us right now, because it does have Earthquake, and I'm trying to do some spread damage whilst protecting on Manaphy, but that's not going so well. So let's just bring in Pelipper, bring in the rain since he can no longer reset my weather. This will boost our Scald by 50%, and then we can bring Blastoise back in and bring out that Aqua Jet or the Wave Crash. Either one would make sense. I think Zamazenta is probably faster than Blastoise. So yeah, that Body Breath, very, very effective damage, even though it's going up against a flying type. He really should have focused the Pelipper there. I think my opponent is underestimating how tanky this Manaphy is. I didn't show the EV spread. Oh, thank you. The Scald goes off. Very nice. And we're also going to... Oh, I totally forgot the hydration cures the status effects as well. That is so good. Okay, so we have a couple of options here. I think we could probably take out Zamazenta with an Aqua Jet, but we're not going to need to. So he could focus down Pelipper here. I think he probably will. If he double targets Manaphy, then we're in trouble. But if I were him, I'd probably focus down the Pelipper. I could Hurricane or I could Protect on Pelipper. This is a tough choice, because if I Protect, it could backfire on me pretty bad. I'm just going to double target Zamazenta. And he goes for the Body Press. Oh, barely survives the Manaphy. Okay, nice. So this Scald is going to hit that Lunala. It's going to do a lot of damage. And then we got Blastoise in reserves here. This is a very nice Manaphy showcase. Very happy with the outcome. That's 100% accuracy on Scald. Lunala is so tanky still. But still quite slow. So without that Trick Room, she's not really that threat that you would expect to see from such a high level restricted Pokemon in this match. In order for Lunala to really be that super scary threat, I feel like you have to have the Trick Room up. But what do I know? I'm only Great Ball rank, okay? Okay, so we can get off another Scald. Now, it is Ghost, so we can't fake it out. Either one of my Pokemon that it targets is going to get KO'd. So we got to do max damage to her, right? And then we'll get another turn after this. And then Bronzong isn't really going to be able to do anything for us. Bronzong is really just dead weight. And that's a... Oh, nice, a crit. we could not ask for a better Manaphy showcase right there. So this team comp, I have been playing. Oh, he rage quit. I have been playing a handful of matches in ranked with this Manaphy build, and I'd say it's gone about 50-50. Maybe right there, it's a little bit more in the positive win rate right there. So very nice outcome. The very strong team we went up against. You know, Manaphy, she's just like Mew with her base stats. Everything's 100. So not like a crazy high stat Pokemon the way Lunala or Zamazenta is. And that was the only restricted I brought. So it's like you can pick a lot of legendary Pokemon that are not restricted that have much higher base stats than Manaphy. So definitely we're the underdog going into that match. So just to clarify, we did spec her for straight up defense, and then you get off one Tail Glow and all of a sudden Manaphy becomes a significant threat. We actually could have gotten off 2 Tail Glows right there because the opponent definitely underestimated the sweeping power that Manaphy has. Now she's not fast, but compared to Lunala, it is fast. You know, as long as we're moving first. That's why we have the Pelipper, because if we're going up against a faster team, we need to get that Tailwind off in order for Manaphy to fill that sweeper role. But she can also be built differently. You know, she can do some very interesting with Heart Swap and make her more of a support build. But I'm very happy with that outcome. We didn't get to show off this awesome attack ground Blastoise. Maybe in the next video we'll do a couple Manaphy showcases. So I want to thank you guys for watching this. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment for suggestions of future uploads you want to see. And we'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.